Natalie tells Smiley they heard what happened at the hospital. She was told that when Smiley got to the hospital, she, oh, like, oh.
So, you don't remember nothing. Say, oh, I'm alive.
She rose up like Lazarus and was okay. I'm like, who told y'all it?
Tell me what's your motive?
What's going on, my girls and my gays, my straight boys, my baddies? It is me, the Godfather. And I'm back with another Baddies Eats review for you guys. Y'all already know what time it is. Y'all already know what time it is. Y'all know where we left off at. Y'all know where we left off at in the last review. Y'all seen, y'all heard how Smiley fell out that wheelchair, foaming out the mouth, and things of that nature. So y'all know what we gotta pick off at. Y'all know what we gotta start off from. So y'all go ahead and get y'all something to drink and strap yourselves in for this uncomfortable review. So, be sure to like, be sure to comment, be sure to subscribe to this channel. Click that bell to be notified of all my latest updates. If you want to see more of my reactions, if you want to see more of my reviews to this season, I have a playlist listed down below for you guys. If you guys like to see my story times, I mean, I have those everywhere. So with all that out of the way, you guys, let's get into this review. So y'all, we start off this episode where the last one left off, and that's when we seen Smiley fall out the wheelchair.
Smiley, why the fuck is she getting? Oh no, she's having a meeting. She's fucking fake.
All on the ground, foaming out the mouth, you know, spit and drool is going everywhere. Y'all, at this point, I'm not gonna hold you, I was teary-eyed. I was teary-eyed because it felt like I was watching something happen in real time. It felt like I was watching someone at their lowest, going through something traumatic, potentially passing away. I'm not gonna hold you, y'all. I was in a bad place after watching this episode. And the fact that those cameras were on this girl, I said this time and time again, but I gotta say it again. The fact that those cameras did not cut off not one time. Them cameras was firmly planted on this girl while she's drooling and slobbing out the mouth, crying for a child. Y'all, I was outdone. I was outdone. Like, she's on the ground like a fish out of water, and like, this is a sight to behold. House B is standing on the fact that they think Smiley is lying. They don't believe nothing Smiley's doing. They think it's all stunts and shows. At this point, tesehki wants to fight Smiley, and I'm like, of course you want to fight this girl. That's your whole personality. Like, watching you is like watching paint dry, grass grow. Like, you're so boring, tesehki. Like, I didn't want to say it, but I'm mad at myself. It took me this long to say it. You are boring. You are a background character at best. Your only personality trait is fighting. Other than that, you cannot keep my attention. The camera doesn't like you. You don't have no personality. You're boring. Natalie then brings everyone together, and she's like, no matter how we feel about Smiley, I know some of us don't like Smiley, but we gotta put the pettiness to the side. Like, this girl is having a medical emergency. Like, it's wrong of us to sit here and say that this girl is lying. We don't believe her. We want to attack her. Like, that is wrong. And you know what, Natalie? In this instance, you've earned my respect. Today you got it. You got it. But as quickly as you got it, you lost it in the same episode. But for this moment right here, I applaud you for actually standing there, being a woman, and actually saying what you want to say. Like, no matter how we feel about this person, we can still show compassion. We can still show empathy about this whole situation. Because a real baddie would never. Y'all not baddies. Y'all not. Camilla says, Smiley does not care about her health, so why should she? And I'm like, Camilla, you don't care about your look, so why should I? Because you've been showing me a stomach full of gout this whole season, and we haven't been complaining. We haven't said nothing. But the moment someone is going through a medical crisis, you want to show your nasty side? Okay, well, I'll oblige you. I'll show my nasty side. You should have put a waist trainer on. You should have. If you think it's okay to criticize somebody about their health, I'll criticize you. Kangaroo. I'm over this season. I got 2 episodes left. I'm over it. I would never want to go travel a country with these whores. Never. I miss the BGC days, y'all. It wouldn't matter if we was beefed out on Bad Girls Club. If something happened this severe, we would all rally behind each other, give each other our sympathy, hugs, you know, staying with that person. The OG baddies would never do something like this. All right. So after all this, we get to the hospital and we see Smiley. She's coming to, you know, she's talking coherently. You know, she's kind of sort of aware of what she was taking, how many shots she had. You know, she knew that she couldn't drink. So it's not giving drug at this point. It's giving something else. But what stuck out to me in this moment was the fact that when Smiley's suddenly alone, she comes to. You know what I'm saying? She comes to, she's aware of everything. And I'm like, that's a coincidence. That's weird.
That's suspicious.
And the fact that Zeus still didn't cut them cameras, I'm like, wow, like, at this point, I gotta stop holding out on Zeus. Like, I gotta stop thinking anybody at that production company has morals and values, because obviously they don't. But, you know, the cameras never stop rolling on Smiley. And long story short, Smiley's coming to. She's come to. She realized where she at. She don't know what got her there, but she know how many shots she took. She know what she drunk. So after this scene, we finally get introduced. We finally get introduced to Suki and Bobby. Y'all know I love me some Suki. And Bobby is being extra as hell already. And I'm like, Bobby, you are a walking red flag in Jamaica. Like, you're putting everybody at risk. Like, hold on. So they were trying to tell Suki and Bobby about the whole Smiley situation. How this girl was having seizures left and right. And she's just not here. She's in the hospital. So Suki was like, oh, that's messed up. You know, I have compassion for that. You know, it's messed up. And the whole time they were trying to tell it to them two, Bobby in the background, like, we're in Jamaica. Like, let's turn up. And I'm like, we just seen something traumatic happen that we don't know is real or not. But for me, it's real to me. So we're not trying to turn up right now. Like, our emotions are everywhere. Like, our mental state is not what's up right now. And the fact that you're trying to turn up and be seen, and you're a boxy boy, you're on an island that don't like us, that will us at any chance. And you coming around us doing the most, putting us all at risk. Why was Bobby even invited? And why did he even agree to go? And it's crazy that House A had more compassion than House B. Like, at the end of the day, whether you like somebody or not, she's still a woman. She's still one of y'all. And that's what confuses me at the end of the day. Like, she's still a woman. Like, no matter how much we don't like her, at the end of the day, she's still a woman. She has kids. At least give her some type of grace. But House B couldn't do that. Bobby doing the most, expecting to turn up. Even Sapphire had to tell him, like, chill out. Like, you're doing the most, Bobby, chill out. So then we meet up with Rollie, y'all. I had forgot all about Rollie this episode, y'all. It never dawned on me that Rollie had walked away from this whole situation. But we meet up with Rollie at a restaurant. You know, Rollie was sad. Rollie was sad, you know, seeing Smiley in that state. She couldn't be around her because she lost her dad like that. She lost her dad to seizures. So, you know, seeing Smiley have a seizure, you know, it was triggering for her. It brought up all those memories and stuff like that. And I totally understand. I totally agree with you removing yourself from the situation, because it will just put you in a bad state as well. But when Rollie said that when someone's having a seizure, you put your hand in their mouth so they don't swallow their tongue, y'all, I'm not gonna hold y'all. When I was growing up, people said the same thing. Like, if someone's having a seizure, they can swallow their tongue. I don't know who started this rumor. It's just that, a rumor. You cannot swallow your tongue. You can't swallow your tongue having a seizure. You can't. You cannot. You cannot. That's something I learned years and years ago. You can't. So, Rollie, if your dad had a seizure and you put your hand in that man's mouth, then bitch, we need to talk. Y'all, if somebody having a seizure, do not put your hand in their mouth. Please don't. The only thing we got to try to do is we don't want them to choke on their spit. That'd be the biggest thing. And Rollie, you're not a healthcare professional. So it's like, why is you sitting here talking about put their hands in people's mouth? Like, I was so confused, y'all. But y'all don't put your hand in anybody's mouth when they're having a seizure. Please don't. And then we got on the topic about depression. You know, Rollie really starts to open up and speaks about her depression. Rollie really started to open up and speak on her battles with depression and anxiety, y'all. And y'all, I was already emotional from the last episode, but I started literally crying at this point, because as someone who suffers from depression and anxiety, I know what it's like. Rollie, in this episode, you didn't agitate me. So I empathize with you a lot. I did. I was like, oh, look at me and Rollie having a moment, and actually sharing a moment together. Like, y'all was emotional. So y'all, while they was talking about depression, I had to mute the TV at that point because I didn't want to hear about it no more. All right, so after that scene had ended, the girls were going out to eat, and production had informed Natalie that Smiley was okay and that she will be joining the girls later at dinner. And I'm like, have we not learned from the last situation? Every time something happens to you, Smiley, you constantly want to get yourself out the hospital to go kiki, ha-ha with people that are going to question you to see if that really happened to you. Instead of you taking your ass home, you still stayed on the show for them to further embarrass you. I would have been on the first flight home after I came out the hospital. Am I okay to travel? I'm going home. But no, you let them embarrass you further and use it for more content. Like, you refusing to just go home, rest yourself. Like, that alone is triggering me. Like, every time you have a traumatic experience, you want to come back and get in front of these cameras. Like, that's triggering to me. Like, you're a walking trigger, Smiley. You're a walking red flag. Get out of my facial, for real. Get out of my facial. So, Sapphire then says, you know, that they got an update. They said when Smiley got to the hospital, she was suddenly fine. You know, she hopped up and was suddenly okay. So, whoever took that information back to the girls and said that when Smiley got to the hospital, she was okay, she rose up like Lazarus, that's messed up, because that's not what they said. They said when Smiley got to the hospital, she started coming to. She started to, you know, come to grips with things. But someone went back and worded it completely different to the girls and made it seem like when Smiley touched those hospital doors, she rose up like Lazarus. It was okay. It was two completely different wordings. So everybody got a whole different meaning from that. So, Smiley, once again, somebody on production do not like you. So we get to the restaurant and we hear that when Smiley was in the hospital, she did not want people to check her blood, like check her blood for anything. She didn't want no blood work done. She didn't want people to do nothing invasive on her. So I'm like, well, Smiley, what's going on? Like, are you hiding something from us? Because to me, that's the only reason I get. You don't want people to check your blood. So it's given like, okay, maybe you did something illegal. You did some illegal substances. Or like, what is it? Like, what is it? Because we can't skate around. We cannot skate around this. Like, baby, you had a seizure back to back. Go get checked thoroughly. Like, don't get to the hospital and not want to get checked. Like, I'm confused. I mean, that you have a right to do that, but it just comes off like, what? And also, isn't that against the law to take confidential medical information and go and tell it to other people? Like, who is in the hospital with Smiley, listen to what the doctor is saying, going back and tell production and to tell the girls? Like, what type of trap house shenanigans are we running here at Zeus, Jamaica? What kind of laws y'all have to let this go down like that? Because somebody need to lose their medical license at this point. Because this is all types of fucking niggotry. No ethics, no decorum. So, y'all, during the meal, it was told to us that Natalie and Scotty had a disagreement. So, I'm like, a disagreement, y'all. I was so confused, y'all. I honestly thought, before they show us the scene, I honestly thought maybe Scotty was, like, touching over food, you know? And I love me some food. So, I'm thinking, like, well, she was touching all over people's food, you know, reaching over the table. So, that was triggering. And, you know, Natalie probably said something. Come to find out, Scotty got a plate of food first, right? No problem. Another plate came out, and that was for Scotty. And that's when Natalie felt the way. I said, what? I said, I know this Crimson Chin. Cokehead. What? I know this cokehead motherfucker. I know you not mad at this girl for getting her food first. Is you shitting me? Are you serious? So I'm like, Natalie, if this girl suddenly get 2 plates of food before you and before everybody else, that sounds to me like production. But even if there was production, how would you feel triggered because somebody got their food before you? I guess you feel like because you're the head of the gang of hoes, you're going to be served first before everybody. And no, they said not today. It's going to be Scotty who's going to eat first. And that's what made me think that Natalie was on. She was on it because, y'all, the way this girl acted in this scene, I was appalled. I was appalled. I was already sad from the Smiley situation, but seeing this, I was angry. You fight somebody over a plate of food? Scotty, you better than a lot of us. You better than all of us, really. So Natalie felt no way. She felt like she being sunned on her own show. She felt like Scotty got her food first, And then she feel like Smiley was lying. So it's like too much going on at one time. And Natalie, if you was the EP, like you claim to be the EP, the head of the horse, that would never happen to you. But that goes to show you that no matter what your title is, you're not the boss of nothing. In your head you are, but guess what? Production said, no ma'am, no green eggs and ham for you. Scotty gonna get hers first. So Natalie and Scotty going back and forth, y'all. She gets all behind Scotty's head like, what? And I'm like, you so close up on this girl head, you can probably see what she's thinking at this moment. Then when Scotty turned around, she was like, what? Like, you probably see all the cavities in Scotty's mouth. Like, yo, this was giving powder. This was giving Enfamil. This was giving Similac. This was giving Coke. It's giving Coke. This is giving Coke, allegedly, because this is Coke behavior. You, what? Like, what is you doing? Like, y'all ever to see and tell me Natalie did not look like she was on powder. Like, we weren't about what Smiley maybe took, but what did you take before this dinner? Because you was on one. You definitely was on one. Natalie wanted to sun that girl. Natalie wanted to sun Scotty in front of everybody. And that's what made me remember that comment about Scotty, I think, potentially going out with Lemon Pepper. Like, she's going out with Lemon Pepper, and I know Lemon Pepper is the boss. So Lemon Pepper probably was like, my lady's gonna eat first before y'all. Or maybe it was just an accident. But you going off on this girl in front of everybody, you want to sun her. You want to sun her, Natalie, and try to put her back in position. Because you noticed that your whore was getting out of line, so you want to put her back in position being the pimp. Scotty, you showed a lot of restraint here, baby girl. Like, you showed a lot because somebody like me would have rock bottom that hoe. I would have rock bottom that hoe clean through that table. Clean through the table. I would have DDT'd the piss out of her. You all up on me, doing all this shit, trying to get a rise out of me because you mad about somebody saying Smiley was lying about a seizure, but you want to take it out on me? I'd have gave you exactly what you looking for. I would have gave it exactly what you was looking for. Scotty should have beat you up in that moment. So I guess Mariah Lynn was giving side commentary saying it was weird. I'm guessing it was weird because Scotty got her food before everybody twice in a row. And so Suki got it and clocked her. Suki was like, mind your damn business. This has nothing to do with you. Like, you're jumping in on best friend beef. Like, Mariah Lynn, you always want to piggyback on something. That's your biggest problem. Like, I'm glad people are starting to wake up and see the snake, because you're a little snake too. You're a little wolf in sheep's clothing as well. You're a little undercover with your actions. And I'm glad somebody caught it and called you out on it. Like, they don't need your input in none of this. This has nothing to do with you. Notice how everybody else was being quiet? Here you go. It's given you want to take Scotty's position. Go ahead on. Now they're going to use you and spit you out as well. A whole A-B conversation. So see your way out of it if I put a D in your mouth. So y'all, Smiley walks in. So y'all, it's Smiley's turn to come to the carpet. Smiley comes to the carpet, my love. Step into the light, Caroline. So Natalie tells Smiley that Smiley was faking the whole seizure thing. Natalie tells Smiley they heard what happened at the hospital. She was told that when Smiley got to the hospital, she,
So, you don't remember nothing. Say, I'm alive.
She rose up like Lazarus and was okay. I'm like, who told y'all it? But apparently, they were filming Smiley. And I guess whoever filmed Smiley in the hospital sent the video. I guess Smiley was laughing and, you know, being her regular self. And Smiley was all confused. Smiley did not know what was going on, y'all. And y'all, I got to give Smiley the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, what? And Anna Mac came with the video showing her what they were talking about. I'm like, Anna Mac, show us. Like, that could be it. Show us. Show the viewing audience. Show us. We need to see it. Y'all seen it already. Show us. Like, let us form our own opinion. Like, why can't we see? So it's a bunch of he say, she say. They was told that when that girl got to the hospital, she rose up like Lazarus. From what we saw, it wasn't like that. She was in our right state of mind a little bit, but we did not see this girl jump up like Lazarus. We did not see it. They were showing a video. We couldn't see the video. They had blurred the video out. So at this point, I don't know who to believe. Someone send me the video. Send me the video and let me be my own judge. Natalie throwing shots at Scotty, saying, Smiley and Scotty, y'all both fake. Y'all phonies need to be together. And I'm like, oh, wow, Natalie. Like, you really don't have a leg to stand on. Like, you really mad right now. Like, why are you so mad? Why are you so mad? Because Scotty got her food first? Or is it given that you messing with Lemon Pepper too? What's really going on? Because I know you're not trying to fight that girl behind a plate of food. But you had the right one. All right, so tesehki was like, Smiley, you need to go. Smiley wanted to go. Natalie made Smiley come back and say, you're not going nowhere. You gonna stand and take what we giving you. So I'm like, y'all hazing her. Like, y'all, man, I'm just like, what is, y'all women with kids that got a life outside the show, and y'all will sit on these cameras and do fugaziness like this. And y'all, as if my stomach couldn't turn no more, E.T. bought her decrepit E.T. looking ass and poured ice cold water on that girl head. Took the water and poured it on that girl head. I was disgusted. I was disgusted. You wanted a moment so bad that that's what you decided to do. They wanted to embarrass this girl. Smiley, you should have just left. The fact that it took this for you to finally leave the show. The fact that they kicked you even further while you was down. The fact that your own mouth said they don't have no compassion. Baby, when you had a miscarriage, you were supposed to leave. When you had that mishap, you were supposed to go. But you didn't. It took for another medical emergency for you to finally realize that they was never your friends. And that was best for you to get off this show. You should have been did it. This whole show would have been so different had Smiley would have just left earlier. I honestly would like to know what this season would have looked like if Smiley had left. It probably wouldn't have been as long as it is now. So y'all, E.T. poured the water on Smiley, and y'all, Suki was not here for it at all. Suki was going off, y'all, and y'all, I stood up and started clapping. I had to clap because Suki is the only one in there that had an issue with what was going on. Suki said, this is a grown-ass woman with kids. And y'all doing this to this woman like that. Man, this is bullying. This is wrong. Natalie like, no, it ain't like. I'm like, wow, Natalie, you sobered up real quick. Suki going off on E.T. saying you corny as hell for that, man. We need a new word for E.T. at this point because corny not gonna cut it no more. Like, need a whole new word for E.T. because wanna be down, can't really describe her at this point. Like, she's disgusting to me, honestly. Like, the fact that you would do that to another woman, like, you're disgusting. So, Suki was going off, y'all, like, basically calling E.T. out, like, but you would never do that to me. Suki was going off on E.T. And so, Rollie jumps up and said, you're not going to threaten my friend. And Suki was like, bitch, I threaten you. Like, who you supposed to be? Captain said, but like, who are you? So, I'm like, okay, a 2-on-2 tag team match. Out the corner of my peripheral, I see Sapphire being quiet as a church mouse, not saying nothing. I'm going off. I was standing 10 toes down behind 2 people. I'm going back and forth with 2 people. Here, my partner in crime, my best friend, my ace boon coon, my real friend, standing right here not saying nothing, trying to be a referee. Suki, in that moment, it would have been a 3-on-1. Because after I'd have caught a fade with all of them, I would have fought her. She's a snake. She's a snake. And you're about to find out how much of a snake she is. And you better cut her off. Cut her off. So Suki is going back and forth with Rollie. Rollie was like, I know it's in your contract. And I'm like, girl, what type of business y'all is doing over there at Zeus? People knowing people contracts and stuff. Like, so Suki, I guess, laid a hand on Rollie. And those 2 started fighting. From the looks of things, it looked like Rollie bummer Suki. It looked like Rollie overpowered her. But we really couldn't see because the camera was behind Rollie back. Like, the camera always in the most awkward positions. And that was the end of this episode, y'all. The fact that it took Suki to stand on business and say, this is wrong. This is a grown woman. Y'all pouring water on her head. Y'all hazing her. I didn't sign up for this. Like, what is this? And I'm glad. Suki, we give you a lot of flack. We do. Not me, but society. But I seen your morals and values on this show. That lets me know right there that you're a good mother. Like, you're a damn good mother. I'm not going to take that from you. And if you got daughters, I feel like your daughters are in good hands. Your daughter's going to come up with morals and values. But some of these mothers on the show who just stand there and let bullying happen, let people get hazed and don't say nothing, are the ones I'm the most concerned about. Suki Sapphire, not your friend. With friends like her who needs enemies, she's a snake using you to just get on. And next season, if there is a next season, I'm pretty sure she'll be Natalie +1. Scotty might not be here after this. Y'all, I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted. But I really want to see Rollie and Suki fight. Suki, I need you to whoop Rollie ass. I'm sorry. Beat it down. Smiley, you should have came from outside and dived in there. We see in the next episode, we see Suki getting water thrown at her face. And apparently it looked like Sapphire was scared to fight. And then we finally see Natalie and Scotty fight, which I can't wait to see. I hope she shaved that chin now. But y'all, this was a disgusting episode, but we seen one person who stood on business, and I love her for that. The rest of y'all gonna have no good days. But y'all, that's all for this review. Be sure to like, be sure to comment, be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Click that bell to be notified of all my latest updates. I love y'all. Remember to keep them snakes as friends away from y'all. They mean you're no good, because they go turn on you like how Sapphire turned on Suki. And y'all, remember, if Zeus Network contacts y'all to get on a reality show, to try to get on Baddies, don't get on it, because y'all will be the next Smiley. I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.
Tell me what's